Hey everyone, today we have the Phase 2 Clone Trooper from Star Wars The Black Series. This is actually a slightly retooled version of the 2020 clone, of course with the Phase 2 helmet. This is number 14 in the Clone Wars line. That gives us Ahsoka at 13 and the Magna Guard at 15. I have reviews for all three of these figures now up on my channel, so if you missed the Ahsoka or Magna Guard review, go check those out. One of those is great and the other one is terrible, so you'll have to go watch those reviews to see which one. Let's go ahead and get this boy unboxed here. Also, if you've been on my channel before and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and ding that bell to see the moment that my reviews go live. So I really love the way that this looks. This has the effect of that 2020 Stormtrooper and the 2020 clone where they just look amazing right out of the box. They don't have that awkward bow-leggedness. They don't have the arms flailing out. They just sit nice and straight. And we're going to spend a lot of time comparing this to the Phase 1 clone from 2020. So let's focus on the differences here. So the shoulder pad was a complaint for a lot of people with the 2020 clone. You can see that when we raise the shoulder pad kind of bumps up. It is glued to the shoulder there, but on the new clone, it is a separate piece with an O-ring that goes around the joint, so it is independent and can move out of the way and just kind of swivel independently of the arm, so you can always get it looking correct. They have also added a bicep swivel, so this bicep piece can move independently of the shoulder, which allows for some greater articulation. On the old clone, you can see that it was all just one piece. Also, the torso overlay is a separate piece, so it can move out of the way just a little bit with certain poses, like if you have to raise the shoulders. I think that's more about being able to produce future variations on this existing body and kind of update that armor appropriately. These both offer the same thigh movement, but here you can see that the knee pad sticks to the top of the knee, like closer to the thigh, and now in the new body we have a separate knee pad, so you can get that pose actually on the knee where you would want it if you were kneeling. I know that these will all be very welcome changes to clone enthusiasts. The articulation at the elbow is very similar, but the new one seems to get slightly better at the knees, perhaps a result of the knee pad being able to get out of the way just a little better. And previously, AliExpress was the only way to get a Phase 2 clone on the updated body, and you can see the differences here. The AliExpress one is a lot shinier, and then of course it doesn't have the newer bicep swivel and knee pad and all of that. And unfortunately you do see a little bit of the chin sticking out from under the helmet in most poses, but it doesn't really show too much on the shelf. And of course there is supposed to be a person under there, so at least it's not like an unpainted white head sticking through. And this guy is just a total joy to pose around. It is very easy to get him into the aiming down the sights pose, on the kneeling on one knee pose. Everything just looks great and is really fun to do. Let's go ahead and pop the helmet off and take a look at this questionable head sculpt. The quality is definitely not at what we've seen from the ARC Troopers. It looks more like a Tampo paint job rather than the inkjet printing that has a lot more detail to it. And then you can see this 5 o'clock shadow that just kind of like stops right at the sideburns. I guess the clones wake up early to shave only their sideburns. Comparing this to the new Black Series 5s, you can see that the level of detail on the 5s just looks a little bit more realistic. There's a little bit more detail in the eyes, and the eyebrows aren't as harsh. There's just something that feels a little bit dated about the face on the left, almost like the Force Awakens pre-photoreal line. I'm gonna pop this helmet back on really quick. It goes on and off really nicely, so we can do a comparison to the 2020 Stormtrooper. And although it does have the O-ring shoulder pads, it is missing the bicep swivel, so that is the main difference between the two, but the articulation feels pretty similar. Here are some of like the clone focused dioramas that I've made for 3D printing. All of the STL files to download and 3D print these for yourself are available on my Patreon, which is linked below, along with 100+ other Star Wars related files that are scaled for the Black Series. This is like an armor rack that you can put all your clone gear in. In just a second, you'll see links to watch the Ahsoka and the Magna Guard reviews up on my channel. Leave a comment on this video and those to let me know what you think about these figures. Hit that subscribe button if you would like to see more videos like this in the future. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.